Yo, today I want to talk about tech house vocals, and I want to show you 3 of my favorite techniques I've been hearing tech house producers using to level up their tracks, starting off with the first, which is sampling and chopping up vocals. Now, most of you guys already know how to chop up and sample vocals, but I want to show you this trick I found that will instantly save you hundreds of hours from having to make vocal chop melodies, having to find where to chop the vocals. It's super simple. So here in Logic Pro, you can take any vocal sample you want. I've got this one here from Splice, and what we're gonna do is in a new instrument track, we're gonna open up the quick sampler, and we're going to click and drag this audio file into the optimize section of our sampler. We're going to change our mode from classic here to slice, and as you can see, Logic Pro will automatically detect a transient of an audio sample, but it might be a little bit too sensitive. So what we're gonna do is actually go ahead and manually chop these up and choose the vocal samples that we want. So here we are, we've got them. If we open up our musical keyboard, we instantly have vocal chops. Now, at this point, most people would go, okay, I'm gonna write in my own vocal samples, and you can do that. It might take you some time, but I want to show you a way in which you can make Logic Pro do that work for you so that you don't have to think a little bit too hard and save yourself a couple of hours. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up a MIDI region, stretch it out to the desired length. So I want a 4-bar loop. And in the piano roll, if you scroll down, you'll see that in our left-hand side on the piano, it'll show you all the vocal chops that you already did. So we're going to go through. I like that one. I like that one. And I like that one. So we've got this kind of like chord going on, and it stretches out for all 4 bars. Now what we're gonna do is go over to our MIDI effects and open up the arpeggiator. Now by doing that, we can literally use all of these presets that Logic Pro has for us already, or we can even write in our own pattern as well, and that will instantly create hundreds of melodies without having to think. So let me show you an example of what that would sound like in this track. Alright, now the next technique is perfect for build-ups, and I'm hearing a lot of producers, people like James Hype using this a lot, and it's really this technique of going out of time, right? We're so used to listening to that 4/4 of house music over and over and over again that one of the ways that you can increase the memorability of your track is actually straying away from what's typical and catching the attention of the listener by going out of time. Let me show you what I mean.
They do not know what they do. They do not see the mission. She said, Lord forgive him. She said, sinners just sinner.
Alright, so how do you get those out of time vocals? Let me show you. Alright, so we've got this vocal sample right here.
She said, Lord forgive him.
And what I did for this track was I chopped it up right where he said, Lord forgive me. So what we're gonna do is we're going to open Logic's sampler. We're gonna use the actual sampler this time, not the quick sampler, because you get a lot more functionality and control out of this one. So we're gonna open up our mapping and our zone, and then we're gonna take this audio file and drag it here into the zone section. Now you can see it's got that whole audio file right there. We're gonna use these 2 arrows on the bottom to trim up the sample so that we can start it where he says, Lord forgive me. You can see on the mapping section, it's playing at C1. So if we open up our musical keyboard,
Lord forgive him.
Right, we've chopped it up to where he says, Lord forgive me. But here's where the magic happens. We're gonna go into mode on the zone section and change it from no loop to forward loop. So the forward loop will, once this plays all the way through, it'll go back to the beginning and play it again. Now that we've got that, we're going to go ahead and create a MIDI region where we want this out of time section to be. So I want it to be 4 bars long. I'm gonna open up that MIDI region. From the sampler, we know that that sample is at C1.
Lord forgive him.
So we're gonna go ahead and write in, so just command click.
Lord forgive him.
So now we've got a 4-bar section of that Lord forgive me vocal that we have in the sampler. Now what we're gonna do is these 2 yellow arrows are what shows us the section which is being looped. So if we play through this section and actually click and drag these arrows shorter and shorter together, it'll give us that out of time build-up effect that we heard earlier. And just like that, you've instantly got that out of time kind of vocal build-up, and it's super simple. You don't need any third-party plugins, excuse me. Can't even speak today, but it's super simple to do. You can use this with Logic Sampler, and I'm sure you can do this with other samplers and other DAWs too. And now the last technique is something that I think is overlooked a lot. And I feel like tech house producers are so focused on sound design these days that it's really easy to forget the simple things that make a track sound so good. So I want you to see if you can tell a difference between these sections that I'm about to play you.
Same sentence, different message, but not everybody gets it. Move of emotion, they drunk at the problem. Same sentence, different message, but not everybody gets it. Move of emotion, they drunk at.
So the big difference between those two was this section between this vocal phrase. Now, one of them sounded really empty, and the other one had what are known as delay throws. I'm sure most of you know what delay throws and reverb throws are, but it's a pause where the delay or the reverb is increased during a section of silence. This is really easy to do. You can use a delay plugin or reverb plugin of your choice. I've got Xvox here. It's a really cool vocal chain plugin. And if we open up our automation window, you can see that I'm automating the mix of this delay knob. So as that pause section comes through, the delay is increased.
But not everybody gets it. Move of emotion, they drunk at.
Again, super simple technique, but if you're so focused on the big sound design section, sometimes these are overlooked, and you don't have to only do them in sections like this. Here's another section of the track in the drop where I'm using actually a different delay plugin. I've got Baby Comeback by Baby Audio, super free, super awesome. I guess super free because it is free, but super awesome free delay plugin. And it's really cool because now you can tie in these sections even though there isn't a break, and you can use this to emphasize a certain word. So let's take a listen to this.
Judging me, you cannot fuck with this energy.
You can just hear that delay throw makes that word energy just stand out so much more. Yeah, so super cool technique, super easy to do, but hopefully these 3 techniques are something that you can incorporate right now into your tracks, and hopefully they helped you out. And if you want to watch another video that will help you increase and up the level of your tracks, watch this video right here. For now, I'll catch you guys on the next one.